Hey guys, welcome back to Hey guys, welcome back to Unravel with me, an anxiety journal. If you've ever felt your mind racing, trapped with anxious thoughts, then you're not alone. Today I want to share my very first journal entry with you. It was messy, it was raw, very unorganized, and uncomfortable. But it's been a valuable tool in my journey now of 2 years. At the end of this video, I hope you feel inspired to start your own journaling as this valuable tool in my mental health journey, and perhaps yours too. I've struggled with anxiety for several years. I never even knew what it was. I didn't even know what anxiety was. I didn't even know I had anxiety. And one of the first few things that my therapist had suggested I do is just start journaling, start jotting things down. Because I found myself drowning in what ifs and always worrying about situations and scenarios where I had no control over. So the first thing that we had to do together was gather some data, do some mind dump, brain dump, however you want to call it. Getting it down on paper is one of the very first and most important steps in your mental health journey, because later on it'll help you try to understand yourself and also notice patterns. Because without any of that documentation, it's really difficult to pinpoint where your issues lie, right? So it makes sense to just write it all down. So what I typically do is when I have an anxious moment, we all have one of these, right guys? We all have one of these smartphones. Pull it out and just start recording everything. Doesn't have to be organized. It doesn't have to have any special format. What I tend to do is I just note down the date. So today's date, maybe the time, and then just start unloading every bit of information that I can. So include all the context, include all the details. Small bits of information you might feel is insignificant could sometimes be significant in determining what your issues are and what the patterns are, right? So don't leave anything out. Try to put everything in. Okay, so let's unravel this together. Here I'm pulling out my trusty tablet, and this is exactly what I wrote almost 2 years ago. I felt I took 2 steps back, fell into the same traps as before, put too much on my back. I felt emotional. My life has been a series of exams. I'm constantly preparing, so of course I'm tired, double exclamation mark. Millions of exams each day. I can't enjoy life events. Example, meeting my wife's friends, meeting my daughter's teachers and her coaches. When an event is done, it's a sense of relief, not accomplishment or joy. I'm going to read that again. When an event is done, it's a sense of relief, not accomplishment or joy. Wow. I actually haven't read these since 2 years ago. That's the genuine truth. Wow. I didn't expect writing to help, but looking back, it definitely allowed me to put things in perspective, understand how big my anxiety was, and also put it in its place, put it in a bucket, and understand what are the different things that I encounter throughout my day where I feel anxious. And it's something that I could actually process rather than these ambiguous things that pop up and I feel a certain way about this situation or I feel a certain way about that. By putting it down on paper, it allowed me to view it at a glance and say, oh, okay, so in this situation, this is what happens. It's all about awareness, right? And that's where we will eventually get to when we review and assess all of our log entries, journal entries, and try to understand the patterns that arise from those. So you're asking yourself, why should I start a journal? Well, I'll tell you easily. There's 3 reasons why. Number 1, it clears your mental clutter. Just like anything physical, your mind gets full of clutter. So by putting it down on paper, you're basically moving stuff aside from your mind and putting it where it should be. So you're organizing. Writing down anxious thoughts stops them from spinning around in your head. Number 2, and I already alluded to it before, it helps you identify and recognize patterns. You might start seeing triggers and themes in your anxiety. Number 3, It gives your thoughts a home. Instead of carrying them on your back all day long, you've put them down on paper. Isn't that easier to manage? Okay, so how do I start journaling? It's really easy. Just grab a pen and paper, a tablet, your phone. I'd like to typically say, I feel like, and then fill in the blank. That's it. That's it. Keep it simple. The more simple it is, the easier it is for you to develop a routine. There's no right or wrong about it. Just let your thoughts flow. Drop me a comment and let me know how journaling has helped you or what your anxiety struggles are. Again, this is a safe space. No judgment. We're in this together. Let's start unraveling. See you on the next one.